Hey, welcome to Select Arcane. Canada is full of influential and important model horse hobbyists. Some you may have heard of, but others have built up the Canadian hobby in the background. As part of the Canadian Model Horse History series together with Diana McDonald, we're bringing you the full interviews straight from the horse's mouth. And with that, please enjoy.
So, how this is going to work is that you've seen my last video for Region 8, and it's going to be somewhat similar. So this is going to be all about Canada. And by the way, I'm Andrea. I'm I'm outside of Toronto, and our I've shown a lot in the GTA, like Northern Ontario, Quebec, but I've never gone west. And none of the people I know in our part of the country have ever gone west, which is very interesting.
Well, Terry
And
has. And Kim Carter. Kim Carter used to come out to the Calgary shows all the time.
I have no idea who Kim is, but I know Terry only based on her work and commissions. So, like, we're so divided by geography that it's
Yep.
I have no idea. I don't even know where to find like the show schedules and stuff for the west side, Alberta, Manitoba, etc.
Yeah.
So this whole video it's going to be focused on Luck of the Irish, which is happening in Acton on the 26th, but it's also going to be juxtaposed with things that happen in the West as well, to kind of get that whole perspective of Canada. Because I don't think it's fair to talk about Canada and just only talk about Ontario. So
True
I'm
and vice versa.
so I have 9 questions, and they're going to be kind of sprinkled into the video. And I also have Verna, who is going to talk about the West a little bit, and I may have Jasmine Lay, but that's not confirmed yet. And then you.
The Calgary contingent.
Okay, so when I ask you the questions, if you can just repeat back the question and go for it, okay? So the first question is, how long have you been model horse showing, and how much of that is in Western Canada?
How long have I been model showing? So since 1993. And pretty much all of it was in Western Canada, with a couple forays down to Kalispell, Montana for shows they used to have there. So, but I pretty much stayed. I've done one show in Manitoba years ago. But yeah, it's always been in the Alberta region, pretty much. Actually, no, I did go to one show in BC as well, quite a few years ago. I say BC, before children.
Okay. Can you introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been in the model horse hobby?
Okay. My name's Twyla Wehnes. I am from Calgary, and I've been in the model horse hobby since 1993. I originally started collecting when I was 8, many more years earlier than that, but been serious about it since 93.
Okay. What do you think makes Region 11 Canada unique when it comes to model horse shows?
Makes us unique for Canada, probably just the fact that we are such a vast space, which is why, like you're saying, the the split between east and west is so big, because Region 11 covers all of Canada. That in itself makes it unique. It's such a wide open space.
What are some of the challenges when showing in Canada compared to other regions?
I think some of the biggest challenges of showing in Canada, they differentiate a little bit between being a show holder and a participant. As a show holder, it's getting people to commit to coming and paying for it. As I used to hold a show called Spring Roundup Live, and a lot of times people wouldn't pay to come until they actually showed up that day. So you were always a little wary of whether or not you're gonna like pull it off, right? As a shower, I don't think there's really any difficulties other than travel. So because of that, a lot of us tend to stay within our local areas. So for me, for Alberta, sometimes going to BC, sometimes going down to the States if it's close enough. So travel is a big thing. The cost of traveling across Canada is so much, like it's actually cheaper to fly to England than it is to fly to Ontario. So that's, I mean, that's probably the main reason why I haven't gone east myself.
Oh God, don't I know it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you look for as a model horse judge if you do judge?
What I look for as a judge, um, the basics. So condition, um, whether it is breed appropriate, whether that has good biomechanics. So that's what personally I look at. In Canada, at least as far as I have seen so far, we don't judge so much on collectability. If we're going to do that, we usually have a collectability class that is separate. I know that's a big thing in the States, but I've never really seen us judge for collectability up here.
So you mentioned that you've shown outside of Canada. How does Western Canada specifically compare to those other regions?
Um, the shows I went to down in Kalispell just seemed to be a lot more intense. Like people were like ride or die kind of thing with their showing. Whereas, especially, we are way more relaxed about showing. We're there to have fun first and not necessarily ride or die to win. Like we have a few people that still kind of do that, but the majority of us, like we go to see the people, we go to have fun and look at everybody's pretty ponies, right? A little goofy sometimes. It's great.
Where do you go to look for upcoming shows in Western Canada? Is there a Facebook page or a website?
Yeah, for the most part, we all talk about them on the Canadian Model Horse Net, which is it's a Facebook page that we do, and then each show from there usually has their own web page as well. But that has been, it used to be the Canadian Model Express, which was the paper version of the Canadian Club, Canadian Model Horse Club and Registries, um, was their book, like their magazine that they put out. So I started, actually myself and my husband started the Canadian Model Horse Net as to get it into being online, and it's now the magazine has made a resurgence with Val Ganzert, and it does both print and online. But then the Canadian Model Horse Net is kind of more where we get together and we chat. We don't do sales on there. Sales pages are separate. But for the most part, for myself especially, it's all on Facebook.
Oh, wow, I did not know this. We're so separate with Ontario. Like we just whenever we do that, it's always if you want to go to a show in Ontario, it's the Toronto Live Model Horse Show page, and that's it. And Quebec now has one, but very recently. So
Well, I just found out. I think it was Alex Parker posted that there's a photo show um, in Quebec. Unfortunately, it looks like it's only in French, and majority of us over here don't speak French, so it's like, oh, more photo showing, but no.
Oh,
So
I did not know that there was a photo show out there. I know that I know some of the Quebecers do speak English like fluently. And Celine, well, I can't remember her last name, holds the Quebec show. That
see,
one's
Kim Carter's in Quebec, and she used to live
okay.
out here in Alberta. And for the longest time, I think her mother still lived here, so she used to come out and go to the Calgary shows.
Okay. Um, what are the biggest shows in your area?
Right now is Bobby Moseman's show Lethbridge Live, which is coming up the first weekend in May, appropriately held at a racetrack in Lethbridge. So we're doing a Derby Day thing there. Then we've had a little bit of up and down with, I haven't had time to do my show, which was always pretty big. And then Len Roya had Haunted Horse Live, and I know she's had some ups and downs with life right now, so she hasn't been doing that as well. But those have been the big ones. Has been Bobby's used to be called Damtown Live because it was in Bassano, which has a dam in it, and or nearby, I guess, not in it. And then she moved it back down to Lethbridge. So it's always kind of been Calgary, Lethbridge. We used to have one in Edmonton too. So it's kind of been we're in a bit of a fluctuation right now between, who can hold shows, but it's always been kind of Lethbridge, Alberta, or Calgary, and then Edmonton. So
What are your average show sizes? Like how many people come?
probably about again, that fluctuates quite a bit. 30 to 40, I think, people. So not huge, but not too bad. We've had some that, have been down to like under 10 too, depending on the show. But yeah. We did so years ago, my first show, like I said, was 1993. It was actually if you're familiar with Michelle Grant, was in her garage. And that kind of started the ball rolling with getting the Calgary shows again. So she helped me do she should more ran it herself, the Calgary Connection show. And we did that for a number of years with the support of the registry, the club registry. And then people at Spruce Meadows found out about this and asked us to come and set up a display. So we set up a display of model horses. And from that, the next year, they asked us to help them do a show. And that is the original Briar West, is what they called it. So for a number of years, Spruce Meadows did that, but they wanted to see a lot more increase in show members each year. And when it started dropped off for a couple of years, they kind of decided to let it go, which was disappointing. But they had the Big Ben special run that both Ian Miller and Kathleen Moody signed, and there were only 50 of those made. Even Idea Breyer says there's 250, but there's only 50 of them. So each participant.
Twyla, sorry, just to interrupt. Only because I just had technical difficulties. My server just went down for a second, so I missed about 4 minutes. I am so sorry. Could you just go back?
Or did we leave off? What last thing you heard?
Well, you participated in a show in Michelle Grant's garage. That kind of got the ball rolling for Calgary again, and then it buffered.
Okay. From there, the people at Spruce Meadows saw some of what we were doing and asked us to set up a model horse display. So we did a model horse display the one year, and from that they started doing a show. And it was the original version of Model West, which is what they called it. And we even had Briar come up one year with horses to sell, kind of like Briar Fest. They did a couple of special runs for Spruce Meadows. They did a Big Ben Masters special run, which was the horse was signed by both Kathleen Moody and Ian Miller. And each participant at that point got one. There was 50 of them made. Idea Breyer says there's more than 50, but we all know there was only 50. They did Advantage Chrysler for the Southerns who own Spruce Meadows. But with that, and it was absolutely incredible show halls, like the best ever. They wanted it to keep going, and they wanted more and more people to come. But after a couple of years, numbers started to drop. So unfortunately, then they decided that this isn't working, so they let it go. It was pretty sad. But yeah, it was an amazing show for a couple of years. They had speakers come up and talk, like Cheryl Leisure came up and she was talking about how briars are made and like little ins and outs and things. They always brought up a special horse to kind of raffle off to the participants as well. After that, we had a little bit of a dry spell, and then that's when we started doing. Bobby got back on the bandwagon and started doing her live shows.
Okay. Do you have any social media pages for yourself, a studio, or your own website that you would like linked to this video?
Yep, I do. I have both Facebook and Instagram. I have both personal and business pages. So
Okay, I'll get your official.
Twyla Wehnes artist on Facebook.
I'll message you on Facebook and get the exact spelling with the exact link so that I link it properly into the video. Okay. And that's kind of it, but do you think I missed anything, or is there something else you want to talk about specifically about Region 11 or your own experiences, anything like that?
The other big thing that is for me is that we've got a lot of the kind of bigger name artists are in the West. So we've got Raven Maddock, who sculpts for Breyer. We've got Tammy Palmerchuk, who's been painting for Breyer. Michelle Grant is one of our older people that is kind of making a bit of a comeback as well. She was one of the first people to ever win the world championships of model horses down in the States. She was one of the first people to sculpt manes and tails instead of herring them. She's also one of the first people to ever sculpt an open mouth on a Breyer. So there's big people here. Yeah, just a lot of bigger name people. The actual Canadian Model Club and Registry was started out here in the West. Bobby Moseman, Michelle Grant, Val Ganzert, Marianne Dalton all kind of started that. And I know for a long time it was the magazines made it far out into the East as well, but I just don't know if people are still in the East, participating in that or not.
Well, I know that the Eastern population is a lot younger on average. Probably our average age is maybe 35. All of the older hobbyists, we have 2 maybe second generations, maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of our younger people have left and gone to university and never come back. So unfortunately our eastern side has shrunk a lot.
That happens out here too, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
and they usually come back.
Where do you think model horse showing started in Canada? Do you think it was in the West? Like the first ever show, was that in the West or the East?
I honestly don't know, but I know the club itself was started out West here because Val Ganzert is in BC and Michelle and Marianne were here in Calgary. So kind of the three big ones, as far as I know, right? I know Beth was part of that, I think, as well, but I'm not sure if she was one of the founders or not.
I'll have to ask her. I see her at the shows all the time. So she's still in it, and she goes to the States still.
I think it's easier for people in the East to get down to the States than it is for us, because for us it's at least a 6-hour drive to get across the border. Or, well, 3 hours, then to get somewhere. Yeah, it's a bit of a drive. That's why Kalispell was as far as I went, because that was about, I think it's a 4 or 5 hour drive to get down there.
What region is Kalispell?
I have no idea.
Not a clue. What state is it?
Montana.
Montana. Geez, I think that 2, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Okay.
But when I went down to those shows, that was before regions were a thing. So.
Well, those are technically all the questions I have, but anything else come to mind?
No. I know if you wanted to talk to more people that went to US shows, that Tammy and Bobby, because Tammy, Bobby, and one of our former members, Dixie Gray, used to drive down to shows all over the States. So they would be good people to talk to as well.
Tammy rejected me.
Really?
She sent me, she's like, I'd love to, but I'm way too shy for this. Thanks, but no thanks. Here, talk to these people.
Which is funny because she is one of the most boisterous, outgoing, crazy fun people at a live show.
I've met her. I did meet her. Yeah, and at the Jennifer show.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny. Bobby'd be good to talk to too. She's like heavy into live show prep though.
Yes, it is. 'Tis the season on that. I will have to reach out to Bobby.
Or Michelle. Michelle and Valerie would talk to you as well. Us oldies. Cough.
It's okay. I feel that way sometimes, especially since it's like, well, how long have I been showing? And then I remember, I'm like, oh, oh wow, it's been a while.
Been a while, yeah. Yeah, my first show, Michelle's Garage, that was an eye opener. She had custom lady phase done to like a Garula done, and it was like jaw-dropping, jaw-dropping beautiful. And I was like, well, how much is it? She said, oh, it's for sale. Well, how much is it? She says, oh, it's $250. And I was like, oh my God, that's so much money. And I'm like, I should have spent that money.
Well,
Such
250
regret.
back in like 1993 is like that's a lot. That's a lot.
But that model I could probably sell for thousands now. Not that I would, because she doesn't customize much anymore. So, oh man. Youthful ignorance.
Well, thank you so much, Twyla. I expect to, let's see, the show is on the 26th. My video posting schedule will be May 3rd, so I have to force myself to get the video done by and posted by May 3rd.
Well, I hope your editing skills are good.
It's okay. This is only the second episode of this series, and so the next after Canada, it's going to be Region 6 with Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. At Big Orange Bash.
So are you going down to a show there? Or?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of part of the series. I have to physically go there. So.
See, you should be coming to Bobby's show in May.
Well, like nobody seems to understand that going down is a lot easier than going west. Like it's 22 hours. It's 22 hours to Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
And that's still within Ontario.
That's crazy, hey? Like it's just the geography is the biggest gap. And the fact that it costs so much to fly.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. And you're right. It's so much cheaper to go to England or down to the States. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Ugh.
Well, if you ever decide you want to come to a West show, let me know. I got a spare bed. So come on down. We did that for Terry when she came, because was it Spruce Meadows? Because one of our local stores, Castle Toys, used to do shows as well. Can't remember if it was Spruce or Castle. Deb Gamble came and judged at Spruce. I know that too. So she was out. But anyway, I was like, if you're coming, come on down. Stay at my place. She saw my son when he was just tiny, and he's 24 now. So
crazy. Time flies. I really should make it out to the West. Maybe if I tried to also lock in my show schedule according to my work schedule. So if I have to fly out for work, I'll just be like, hey guys, I'm spending an extra day doing like a model horse show, and I always get like an eye roll, but
right. Yeah, if you ever want to come on down. Bob puts on a good show. We most of our shows of recent were in Bassano, because the Bassano Hall was like so incredibly cheap to rent.
Where's Bassano?
It's just about an hour and a half east of Calgary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Just a little town that if you blink you'll miss it kind of thing. But Lynn Ruea, she lives out there, so she was like, I can get us the hall. But the hall, like, because renting a hall in Calgary is absolutely atrocious for a price. Like you're looking at $500 a day.
Twyla, I really hate to break the news, but I would kill to pay $500 for a hall. Like when I was hosting Toronto Live, we had to move it a few times because of location issues and things like that. I was paying $1,300 for the day.
Jeez. How did the show afford that?
So the way we did it was our price has to be relatively high. So at that time, that was the last one was 20, what is it? 22 was the last edition of it. So our entry fees have to be $65 per person, plus, and we would get an average of 30 people at the time. Then everyone's extremely generous with the raffle. So the raffle money goes towards that as well. And the food costs, we always get pizza here. It's just a thing we do. It's always pizza. The pizza cost, we would have to add on an extra dollar or so for lunch, essentially. And we were always able to make about a $400 profit off the show.
That's incredible. You must be better have better raffles because we don't do food. You have to go buy your own food, and we're still like just scraping by to get it. And I mean, when what's it? Lynn's biggest show, I think the entry fees were $100, and they were still, yeah. So I'm saying this math is not adding up.
I did a whole
Bobby's,
video on my division of how I afforded a show.
yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to find another cheaper hall because prices are going up.
So Bassano, the halls was $165, including tables. Right? We were very spoiled. Very spoiled. And they usually gave us the keys Friday night, so everybody would set up Friday night.
Oh my God, that's unheard of here.
Right?
Unheard of.
Yeah. So yeah, we did a lot of shows, but they recently upped their prices substantially. So Bassano was, I mean, the people from Edmonton, it was a bit far for them, but Lethbridge, it wasn't that far to drive up. So yeah, crazy. But I don't even
Wow.
think we could do, I don't know if we could make a profit with $1,600 a day.
Oh,
That's
it's
crazy.
ridiculous. And
Yeah.
that was, we would kind of bounce around between, we couldn't use community centers. We can never use community centers because the centers here open at 8 a.m. and they close at like 5 p.m. So we don't have enough time in the day. They're not open on Sundays, so you can't just break it into a 2-day show. And they have this whole policy here of it has to be fair to everybody, so you cannot take tables from another space. That you only have an X amount of tables in a certain room and no more, no less. And then so we moved over to the Legion halls, so Lions or things like that, and those
Yeah.
are relatively successful, except that they're not open on Sundays again, and the lighting in them is usually quite poor, so it's not fabulous. And then we moved over to a college. We moved over to Humber College, and that's where the prices were ridiculously, like ridiculous. And they would really wrench us around of never having anything ready or never providing the lunch when we asked them to, or really making it difficult for us. So we left, and then we went back to the show, like the Legion Hall. So now we're thinking about moving again. So it's a
It's
whole
funny because
thing.
the Bassano Hall was a community center and they had no problem with Sundays. That's
I
crazy.
I don't know. It must be an Ontario thing. I don't.
Because Shauna McDaniels, too, she's the other person. She did Sugar High Live and she was doing it in Red Deer. And she had a problem and then she moved it down to Nanton and then she disappeared for a little while. So yeah, but it was always just been community halls. Crazy.
No, I don't know.
Well, you're
It's
doing
just,
something right if you're doing that price of a haul and you're making a profit to at least cover everything.
it was
That's crazy.
well, it's really hard when you have to put everything up front as well, and then
Yeah.
you have to like hope that people are going to enter. So we have kind of the same issue where people sign up at the very last second.
Yeah.
Like we don't we try to cut it off a few days at least ahead of time so we know. But yeah, right now for Luck of the Irish, that's on the 26th, I think there's 17 entrants, and that for that show is considered relatively large, which is a little sad compared to what we used to have. We used to have like 32 people averaging. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we had a lot of. The last time I did Spring Roundup Live, I actually did an incentive of it's cheaper if you pay early. Had like this early bird special, and it worked, but not as good as I'd hoped. But yeah, there's still, I don't know, the mindset of I'm not going to pay till I get there. It's like, that's not good for the show holder. It's a
Oh,
little stressful.
I have another question. How do you find new people to bring into the model horse showing fold? Where do you advertise for new blood?
One of the biggest components for that for us was our local store called Castle Toys, which I used to work there. And I used to be the Briar person. At the time, I convinced the owner to start doing the Briar days that Briar puts on and getting the stablemate packages in. We do a little sample show, like just, stallion mare full gelding kind of thing, and then like anything goes performance. And the owners of that place were both teachers, and they absolutely loved the fact that the showing hobby itself was so educational. So, you learn about horses, but you can learn to paint as well. You can learn to customize, do dioramas. He had diorama contests every year, and they were absolutely fun to watch and judge. So that was one of our biggest components for getting new people to come. They come into the store and to buy their Briar. Unfortunately, he passed away, and then they did end up selling the store. So the new owner's not quite as keen on doing the Briar stuff as the old owners were, but that was one of the biggest components for us out here.
Okay. All right. I have no more questions.
So many questions. So many. All right.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, other than I'm still picking my jaw up off the floor over the price of your halls. Holy man.
Well, the GTA is like, if you wanted to hold a show downtown, it starts at some of the halls. Some of the halls start at 20 grand. And those are like hotels downtown. Those are banquet halls in Mississauga, not close to downtown. Those are like relatively large halls where it's kind of an all-inclusive thing. Like start between 15, 20 grand. And it's just like ridiculous. Who's going to go for these? So they really only cater to weddings and things like that.
Sunday.
Yeah, and then the community halls aren't open on Sunday, and I think it's because they kind of hold events as well. So like they'll have like a club doing something on Sunday, so they close everything except for that or something like that. We can't even rent like a nice skating rink that is closed for the season. Nothing. It's really hard to find something here that's big enough, has the tables, has the lighting, is allowed sales and or food. Like,
yeah, tables is a big thing for a lot of the halls that we go to or try to go to. It's like you got the cost of the hall, then you got the cost of renting tables. So
you actually have to rent the tables on top of that?
Sometimes, yeah. Like I said, this is why Bassano was our main show area, because it was an all-in-one package.
Oh my God.
And they had lots of tables. They were oval, but so we did the rectangular tables for the show tables, and the exhibitors tables. They got these big oval ones, but it was perfect. It worked well. So crazy.
That's so weird. And we're in the same country, and it's like, I didn't know that.
Opposite still.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Twyla.
It was lovely to meet you.
You too. Thank you so much.
And have fun at your show. I look forward to seeing pictures.
I will.
We'll get you signed up on the Canadian Model